Welcome back to the channel of Three House Gamers, ladies and gentlemen. Where was I going with this? I'm Aaron.
Jonathan.
And I'm Danny.
What? Oh yeah, that's right. You did say he would be on here. That's right.
Yeah.
Go check out the
update
video.
A member. I'm like a cast member now.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of me.
He's a fish. Yeah. Oh. It's gonna be a little hard now because now it's gonna be like a gum on my shoe. Anyway. Nah, but quick side note. We recorded the update video after doing SpongeBob, so that's our mistake. And by our, I mean mine, because I did stuff a little too soon. So I apologize for that. I put my hands up and sincerely apologize. Anywho, with that being said, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is... The trailer's out!
It's
Sonic 3.
Holy shit!
Oh.
Yeah, who would have figured that the trailer would have been out, you know? Because, damn, we've been waiting since...
Sonic 2.
Exactly, since Sonic 2.
Yeah!
They teased
And the
us with
only
Shadow.
thing we've gotten out of it... Exactly, we've gotten teases with Shadow, with either them just showing his stand-in with his shoes, and then that teaser promotional shot where you just see the title reveal, and of course we get that. Yeah, we got Live and Learn in the background, and now we were just waiting for a trailer, and bam, the trailer finally hit on Tuesday, and it did not disappoint. So without further ado, let's talk about the trailer, huh, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of the things I do want to bring up about this trailer...
Disaster!
No, that's Knuckles. But by the way, I finally watched it, by the way. Thank God. Thanks, Paramount Plus. Finally able to watch it, and I gotta say, I did like it. However, though, my favorite part about the trailer, besides, actually, mainly has to do with Shadow, because holy shit, the dude just dominated everything. And that moment where he wakes up from his capsule and you just see the red glowing eyes, I was like, oh shit, we're in for it now, huh? And he smashes the glass too, which is one of my favorite parts, because it's like he means business.
We're also gonna watch that little girl get clapped on live TV. We're gonna watch her get killed in real time, and that shit is gonna go crazier than when Tobey Maguire stepped through. Listen, man, that theater, God, I want to be in that theater when that happens, because honestly, as soon as she gets gunned down by some freaking by those cops or whatever, like the entire theater is gonna get lit. Like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Explosion this time, by looks of it. I digress.
Either way, Jesus. She's going to get killed on screen, and we're going to be like, yeah! So, yeah.
And I could just see the regular audience being like, why the hell are they cheering? Because we know the story. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, hearing the cast come back is great, but the fact that we're getting Shadow and Maria's backstory, especially on the big screen, is one of the things I'm generally looking forward to, because as many of you know, I'm a big Sonic Adventure 2 fan, and I'll be very honest, I'm the biggest simp for that game, because holy shit, they just did everything right. And if you want to hear me talk more about it, plug, watch our Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough, because...
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gush over that game, man. That game is just amazing. Until we get to kart race.
Now this is kart racing.
But I am genuinely looking forward to seeing Shadow's backstory. And I will say, though, because I actually have a little cousin who loves Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, he got into the series and instantly fell in love with it, like me. So I'm a little proud there. However, I want to make sure he can kind of go see this movie, but also I'm very afraid, because I get a feeling they might just shoot down Maria right in front of the little kids. And Listen,
Good.
I want him to. That'll put some hair on your chest.
Listen, we got traumatized. You're gonna get traumatized too. This is the circle of life. All right, motherfucker. Like that's just what it is.
Damn.
You're gonna look your cousin in the face and be like, "Grow some balls," and then you're gonna show him Maria getting gunned down and be like, "That's you if you don't eat your broccoli."
Oh my god, dude, chill the fuck out.
Listen, I can't tell my aunt that because I might get smacked.
I will get smacked. That's the thing. So yeah, don't say that verbatim to him. But if you want to establish dominance.
I do generally want him to see this because again, I love Adventure 2. Adventure 2 is my favorite game of all time, and the fact that they're finally adapting this story onto the big screen, that just made me feel like I'm 5 years old again. So I'm very much looking forward to what they do with Shadow. And I gotta say, I called it too. Keanu is voicing him. Yeah, baby! Let's go, baby!
I'm not gonna lie. I was fully expecting Hayden, and then hearing Keanu voice him, I'm like, yeah, no, that kind of fit too perfectly. It's like hearing Idris Elba was voicing Knuckles, and then you hear Idris Elba as Knuckles, and you're like, yeah, no, there's no one else. There's nobody else.
He, granted, the limited time we heard him in this trailer, I thought he was amazing because I was like, damn, dude,
I'm sold.
You're a colorful bunch. I'm like, that's Shadow. That's not even Keanu. That's Shadow. And I know people are like, well, this is Keanu's voice. But it fits for Shadow. Because Shadow, especially in this mental state, is cold-hearted. Shadow will not care about anybody.
Shadow is just the plot of John Wick. Replace his dog.
with his sister, or best friend. There you go.
It's literally that. Like, that's it. That's it. 1-to-1. It's like you killed his dog, now he's killing all of you. You killed his best friend, now he's killing everybody. Like that. It's the same character. Keanu Reeves didn't really have to do. He read this thing. He's like, so it's just John, but a hedgehog. I'm sold. Like that's how it went down. That he had that one conversation with his agent, and his agent went, okay, that was easy. Yeah, Paramount. Yeah, he's on it. Yeah, he's on board.
And look, I know people don't like IGN, but I loved it when they actually had Ben Schwartz going over Sonic's lines in the game, and you actually hear him doing the SA2 one. I would love if they got Keanu in to do SA2 as well for Shadow, or even Shadow the Hedgehog. Even though I hate that game, one of the funniest lines. There's two of them. The first one is, "This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me." But I would love to hear that because that would be stupidly hilarious. And then my second favorite is, "This blue sky, staring at it from afar. Have I seen it before?" Yes! That's called looking up, Shadow!
Listen, my favorite line from Shadow the Hedgehog is, "You're a beta cuck, Sonic."
I remember that line.
I remember that line too. I can only find it on YouTube for some reason, but I remember playing the game and hearing it. Shadow, what are you talking about? Like, yeah.
Listen, my favorite line from Sonic Prime is, "I like big booty Latina, Sonic."
I just love Latina, Sonic.
I just love Latina. God. No, listen, but Shadow the Hedgehog's voice is just so much fun to do because you just add rasp and edge, and that's it. And it's just like, yeah, how do you fuck that up? And so to hear Keanu Reeves just being that it's great. Also, Ben Schwartz, A1 voice actor from day one, constantly playing the blue guy.
Yeah, he played. I know he played Leonardo. I forgot which duck he played because I know it's the blue one, but he
played Huey.
Huey, that's it.
Off the top of my head, that was the name I was gonna say, Huey.
Yeah, I will say this though about the new DuckTales, they actually gave them personality, and that is the one thing I will give it props for. Where it's like Huey, Dewey, and Louie were just one character split into three heads, and now it's like, no, that's Huey, that's Dewey, that's Louie, and we're talking about Sonic. We were talking about Sonic 3. So, but yeah, anyways, Ben Schwartz, A1, love it.
Don, what are you gonna say? Because I know we kept interrupting you, which we did not mean to.
I don't know. I think I still need more time for Keanu to cook in the oven. I like him. I think he's doing a good job as Shadow, but I don't know if I would say he's my, like, I think he's what I want for Shadow. I'm not
Okay, get out.
like involved, and I'm not like in love, you know.
Okay, get out. Get out.
No, like I understand because like and to that point, the video game voices versus the movie voices they're like different energies, you know?
Yeah.
Like the movie voices, Ben Schwartz just has like a more chesty like delivery with like Sonic's voice, you know? Whereas like in the games, Sonic's is a lot more of a head voice, you know? Like game Sonic is up here, movie Sonic is down here.
Okay. Let's verify this, because we have like God knows how many Sonics in the games. We have Ryan, which is from SA1 to Advance 3. Then we have Jason Griffith, which spans from Shadow the Hedgehog all the way to Black Knight. And then we have Roger, which spans from Free Riders all the way till now. So let's be a little more specific, huh?
I will say, okay, then you guys just did Sonic Adventures 2. So
yeah,
that's the most recent voice in my head. Even even when you compare like what's it called, Sonic Boom and everything like that too, Sonic's voice is a lot more like head voice, you know? It's a little bit more of a throw. Like I don't know, like there's specific phrases in like voice acting where it's like to like basically put your voice in like a character's register, you kind of have to like push it up a little bit, and you can tell like the voice actors are doing that. Ben Schwartz is just talking. Like Ben Schwartz is adding like some like affects to it, but it's not really a big change in his voice. Sonic sounds like Leonardo in like vocal energy, but he doesn't speak like Leonardo, you know?
Yeah.
I would say that one of the I would say the same thing for Ryan, because if you actually hear his voice, it sounds so damn close to Sonic as well. That's like, oh yeah, he could just do that in his sleep. With Jason, I will admit, yeah, he is kind of putting on a voice to a certain extent, because if you hear his regular voice compared to Sonic or Shadow, there is a difference. But I think with later Sonic, like in Unleashed and Black Knight, that's when he kind of started to get a little closer to his voice, because he started to actually lower it a bit. And I do think it for me personally, it'll always be my favorite voice, right next to Ryan Drummond, because around that time he sounded to sound perfect. And then again,
sorry to interrupt. Which one was the video where he was like in an interview and he was talking about how like he hopped in the booth and was like, "It's over, Eggman," and they're like, "Can you bring it down a bit?" He's like, "It's over, Eggman, lower. It's over, Eggman, lower. It's over, Eggman." Exactly. That's what we want. He's like, "This is Shadow. This isn't Sonic." That's like
Roger. Yeah, that's Roger. I remember that
Tears or whatever
video. Yeah, because they were asking him to do his Sonic's voice a little lower. He's like, "It's over, A-Kid." Lower. "It's over, A-Kid." Little lower. "It's over, A-Kid." Little lower. "It's over, A-Kid." That's it right there. You've got to be freaking kidding me.
It's like that's Shadow. Like, but that's what I mean. Where it's like Sonic's like vocal energy is very like up there. And like, yes, it can be lowered, but basically, like Sonic's vocal energy is always up there. Ben Schwartz is just speaking his like normal timbre. He's not really like putting an affect on it. He's not really bringing it up. And like, I understand what you're saying. Whereas like, you know, over time, the dude who's played Sonic for like when you play the same character for years, it depends on like the nature of the story to really tell. But like, Sonic is just a himbo. The movie Sonic is just a himbo. You know, like.
Kind of him both.
Sure. I feel like if we were to rate their intelligence, I feel like if we were to rate their intelligence levels, movie Sonic is at the lower end of all the Sonic iterations.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. But oh man.
What I was saying with that, sorry to go on that tangent. What I was saying with that is like Keanu Reeves has that same issue with Shadow, because like even though Shadow's edgy, it's still kind of up there, and Keanu Reeves is low. Like Keanu Reeves' voice is low, and he's speaking at like a very low timbre as well. So it doesn't feel like traditional Shadow, but it matches the energy brought by the rest of the cast.
I was going to actually bring up, because again, we got 3 voices for Shadow in the games. We have David Humphrey from Sonic Adventure 2 to Heroes or Sonic Battle. And then we had Jason Griffith, funny enough, also voicing Shadow since Shadow the Hedgehog all the way up to Black Knight. And then now we have Kirk Thornton, which he's getting better. But damn, when he first started, I absolutely loathed that voice, because you took like the one thing I wanted for Shadow and just destroyed it. Because the one thing that I hated out of the entire game of Shadow the Hedgehog was the fact that they made him edgy. Because if you go back and watch Adventure 2, and if you play Heroes, and even Battle, you'll see he's not edgy. He's a loner, but he actually does value his friends. He does care about people, and even though, especially in Adventure 2, even though he was set out to destroy the world, it was all because of one person, and he wanted to fulfill that wish. So he's not a complete edgelord until 2010 when they brought in Kirk Thornton, and they won. And it's not Kirk's fault. But man, Sega wanted to flatterize the hell out of all these characters. So what they saw on Shadow and saw in the game, they're just like, fuck it. Let's make him just the edgelord that we made him in Shadow the Hedgehog. And it's like, no! You had him perfect in 06, where he again valued his friends. Saw Sonic as an ally. Not a friend, but an ally. Respected him to the umpteenth degree, to where he even admitted, yeah, we can't defeat this creature without him. That's Shadow. That is the guy who's out on a mission to protect the world, not at any cost, because he did team up with Gunn, protect the world, and cared for people, and actually cared about his friends, especially with that conversation he had with Rouge, talking about, if the whole world turns against you, know I'll remain by your side. Remember that. And Shadow...
Have you considered motorcycle plus gun equals edgelord?
Look, the motorcycle is cool, but
the motorcycle is cool. That's why they brought it for the movie. And when they whipped that shit out, I was ready. I was like, hell yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
So fucking excited for that motorcycle.
That Akira
no cheat
moment,
codes,
though,
and I'm like, this is good. This is some good shit. I'm about it.
That Akira shot was sick, but a lot of people also kind of glance over it. That's not just Akira. That's also from Shadow the Hedgehog, where you actually see him posing with the motorcycle in that game.
That's the cover. The cover art. He's not on his motorcycle. Forgive me. I don't want to get ripped apart. But it's like, yeah, like that. Yeah,
is that shot, and I'm like, perfect.
Mm-hmm. The Akira bike slide is still present in animation to this day, and it's one of my favorite homages in animation. And the fact that they're like, yes, CG animation is still animation, and so we're gonna make this homage. I love it.
Also, that moment where Shadow grabbed Knuckles' fist and just... I don't know if he broke it, I don't think he did. But when you hear that crack, I knew it was kind of up for them. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
Get boned, day one.
Also, that is something I will say, is that they did an excellent job of just showing the absolute power scale between Shadow and the rest of the crew, because Sonic runs, Shadow teleports. Like, that's the difference in speed between the two of them. And
but they are
like,
supposed to be, they're supposed to be on the same speed length, though. Not speed length. They're supposed to be on the same exact speed, though, because Shadow, again, bringing you Adventure 2, because again, this game takes inspiration from Adventure 2. Shadow admits he's as fast as me. And that kind of shocks Shadow a certain bit. He's like, huh, he's actually able to keep up with me. I've never seen that before. So, I will assume that later on, Shadow will look at that and, again, just like in the game, probably start respecting him a little more. Like, you're actually able to keep up with me. I'm actually impressed. I'm sorry if I interrupted.
No, you're good. I've just been talking a lot. I mean, I tend to yap. So I just wanted to make sure that like anyone else wanted to say anything that they got their ability to.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your thought though, because I'm sorry I had to bring up Adventure 2 because that's my little baby right there.
Yeah, but my biggest thing with like, how do I say this? Oh yeah, another thing is this: they straight up dwarfed Knuckles. So like Knuckles is seen as like, okay, in the last movie they introduced Knuckles and it's like, yeah, Sonic is fast but he's not strong. So that's where he's like, that was the biggest thing. He couldn't beat Knuckles in a bare knuckle fight, so he had to outsmart Knuckles. He had to be faster than Knuckles could react. That was Sonic's biggest like struggle there. And this one, it's just he's faster than Sonic, he's stronger than Knuckles. That's the power scale. Like that's what we're fighting at this point. It's like when they introduced friggin' what's his name? Honestly, people have made this distinction for years. The Vegeta and Goku, no, because like here's the thing.
No, it's not you. There was a recent Takashi Iizuka interview that came out that actually brought up that, and I'm just getting flashbacks to that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, it's a good parallel because like if you look at Dragon Ball, originally Piccolo was the villain, and then when they bring in Vegeta, it's like, oh shit, he's like way harder than Piccolo was. What are we gonna do? And it's very much giving that energy where it's like, yes, no, he's gonna have to fight Knuckles. And he fought Knuckles and now he's his friend. He's gonna have to fight Shadow. I don't know if he's gonna be Shadow's friend by the end of this,
Okay, so I wanted to bring that interview up because that interview also had Takashi Iizuka actually like saying stop comparing Shadow to Vegeta because they're not the same, which I do agree. But man, everything he listed was completely wrong about Vegeta and Shadow. If anything, he kind of had them the opposite way because yes, they are supposed to be the rivals to our heroes. However, Vegeta and Goku's rivalry is more with Vegeta wanting a rivalry with Goku and Goku just trying to better himself. That has always been their sort of type rivalry. And Vegeta, especially in one of the recent mangas during the Moro arc, he flat out admitted, I'm not a hero, I'm a villain. And I know at the end of the day, if I die, I'm going to hell because of all the atrocities I committed. So at this point, I'm just trying to return the favor of trying to at least, make amends with people because I know I'm going to hell at the end of the day. And Vegeta admits on several occasions he's not friends with Goku. He doesn't like him. However, he doesn't hate him, but he does not like him. He doesn't even view him as a friend. He'll team up with him from once in a while, but he does not particularly care for him. And when Iizuka in the interview was like, oh, well, Vegeta is friends with Goku, but Shadow's not supposed to be friends with Sonic, I was like, that is completely opposite. Because again, I would see Shadow actually being a lot more friends with Sonic because there are multiple occasions where he has a huge amount of respect of him. Which, I'm not saying he can't have a rivalry, but at the same time, he started to view him as an actual ally and not somebody that's like, I gotta team up with him, I guess. He's like, no, if you need help, I'm here. Especially in our Sonic 06 playthrough, we've seen that multiple times where he's actually like, he has that friendly rivalry with Sonic, like when they're heading into Flinkor. You have him going like, don't be late, and Shadow just says to Sonic, same to you, because he knows they're both fast. They are both on that same speed. So that type of back and forth, like, yeah, you cheeky bitch, don't get ahead of yourself. You don't get ahead of yourself either, and I'll meet you there. I like that. And then that fight between Sonic and Silver, and Shadow jumps in to actually rescue Sonic. That doesn't seem like somebody who's like, oh, well, I gotta team up with him. That looks like somebody who's like, oh shit, he actually needs help, let me go help him. So I don't agree with what he said in the interview, and even me and John discussed this a bit, where it's like those characters are reversed, and I sorry, I don't see Shadow being an asshole towards Sonic because he's not. That's not Shadow.
My biggest point of contention is that, like, I understand what they're saying, but also if you look at it from like a narrative perspective, they are the same archetype. They are the Lancer to the hero, and like in literature, shout out to Overly Sarcastic Production. They have a whole video on this, but in like literature, you have the hero, and then you'll have like their cast of characters, and the hero's ally who doesn't like them is their Lancer, and they're called a Lancer because they're supposed to bring out like the opposite qualities of the hero. If the hero is stalwart and noble, then the Lancer is going to be kind of shifty and weird. You know, if the hero is like is an intelligent person, their Lancer is going to be a himbo jock. It's one of those things where it's like the Lancer is going to be the opposite of the hero in order to bring out the best qualities of the hero. So like Sonic the Hedgehog is this guy who is optimistic, like good guy, paragon figure. Shadow the Hedgehog is the opposite of that, and he's supposed to be. But like to your point, like Shadow respects Sonic because like he gets his stuff done, and like he's a decent human being. Hedgehog. Like he's a decent person. Human. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking 06, yes, a decent human being. But yeah, so basically it's like Shadow and Vegeta are both the Lancers to Sonic and Goku respectively. But I believe you are correct in your statement where you're like, yes, there is less animosity between Shadow and Sonic because Shadow actually likes Sonic and doesn't like to admit it.
He likes him to a certain extent because he does get annoyed by him, which a lot of Sonic's friends have actually gotten annoyed. Knuckles, Amy, not Tails. Well, actually, a little bit of Tails too. Tails actually gets annoyed by him, but they're still friends with him at the end of the day. So, again, I just heavily disagree with that statement. I do admit I don't want people to really compare Shadow to Vegeta because they are completely different characters. But at the same time, it's like he kind of went about it the wrong way because it's like, in a certain way, he kind of forgot his own games that he kind of worked on because those games characterized Shadow in a different way than what they did with our old, short, blonde-haired buddy Vegeta. No, he's
blonde when he's Super Saiyan. Yeah, absolutely.
Back to the trailer. My favorite shot is when he's actually skating on the water, which, man, that was so sick. That showcased off his speed, and I was like, yes. I want more of that. And the fact that him and Sonic can both do that, I'm just saying, a race on the water would be pretty sick.
Yeah. And I think like that's going to be the plot. Like, well, obviously the plot is they're going to... It's the same thing as like, Sonic 2, where it's like, oh no, big threat. We can't fight him alone. We need to team up with Dude. But this time we need to team up with Robotnik. Ew, I don't want to do that, but we gotta. And then eventually Robotnik is going to be like, well, maybe I can use this opportunity to actually take over the world. And then Shadow's going to realize that what he's searching for is fruitless, and that he's been going about this the whole time, and that Sonic is actually a good guy, and then he's going to be like, we got to team up to make sure that this robot prick isn't going to, like, kill everybody. And then Sonic's going to go, did you just cuss? And then he's going to keep running. And then...
we're bringing Shadow the Hedgehog in. Not the game.
Just imagine like Keanu Reeves voicing this hedgehog, just being like, "Hey, dumbass! Like, the fuck? This is a kids movie.
It's a kids movie. We can't swear. It's rated.
Yes, we fucking can. It's PG-13. I get one of those."
I am curious. Which, by the way, John, you have been incredibly silent. Do you want to add anything?
Not right now. I'm just listening.
Okay, I just didn't want you to feel like we're interrupting you. If you wanted to say something, one of the things I do want to mention, though, also to kind of include you as well, what do we think is going to happen to Tom?
Honestly, James Marsden has had James Marsden has had a less prominent role in each of these movies. Like, yeah, he was the other half of Sonic in Sonic 1. And then Sonic 2, he's like, oh, wow, we're seeing significantly less Tom. And in this one, it really does feel like he's going to be there in the very beginning, and then he's going to be there at some point in the middle, and maybe he'll be used as, like, the damsel in distress, and at the very end. And it's just going to be like, James Marsden's going to walk in, do one day of shooting, and then walk off with his check. Like, that's really what this feels like from the trailer.
And you know what's funny? I actually like James Marsden's character. Like, no joke, he is one of my favorite human characters throughout this series. Because there's something about him, which I might probably add to the fact that he just looks like a nice guy and is incredibly charming. Just saying. I ain't gay. No. Yeah. He has such a presence on the screen where I'm like, I actually really like this dude and hope nothing bad happens to him. Now saying that, I'm like, oh shit, something might actually bad happen to him. And I don't want it because I actually like the dude.
I'm just imagining just Shadow being like, you took away my human pet, now I'm taking away yours.
Human pet, I thought we were friends. Shut up, Maria. No.
Maria,
John,
you're dead.
What do you think is going to happen to our Donut Lord here?
As I see it, at some point, I don't think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna get injured pretty badly. That will, like you said, it'll probably take him out of most of the movie. He'll get injured by Shadow, and probably I'm almost thinking like around that gun clip, like when they're all around that table, something. Whenever he's like yelling out for help in that one scene. Anyways, that's gonna cause, like, most of Gun's gonna be not able to do anything. Tom's out. So Sonic, in desperation, can only turn to the only other person who can even deal with someone on his level, Eggman. As much as he wouldn't want to, he has literally no other options.
And the fact that they're, if I can go back to
that scene.
I was going to say, the fact that they're standing outside and they both, and Knuckles, Sonic, and Tails have that face like, what just happened? I do think Tom might actually get hurt. Not killed, but hurt. Because they all have that.
What building is that?
Huh?
Kind of begs the question, what kind of building is that?
Yeah, I think it might be a hospital.
I'm thinking. Like, that's my theory, is that, you know, he Tom gets hurt and now he's like, I gotta do.
You think Shadow is gonna bomb a hospital?
Oh man, it's a terrorist attack. Terrorist.
They call me Shadow the Hedgehog. They should call me Shadow the Terrorist.
Guys, it's an android. It's a terrorist. Steroids! But that moment where we saw Eggman, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But damn, we're finally getting Eggman in live action.
Yeah,
because
giving Fat Thor.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies. Sorry we had to bring that horrible memory for you guys back up again. Sorry about that.
Dad bod Thor?
Dad bod Thor, because I know all of you.
Dad bod Thor.
I know all the ladies ran out of the theater once they saw that. Like, ladies, where y'all going? It's just more love to go around. Shout outs to Mighty Keith for that, because that was a funny video. But that moment where we saw Eggman in the fat suit, I thought looked great. And I am genuinely excited to finally see a fully fleshed out Eggman in live action, because Jim Carrey has been doing a great job as Eggman, honestly. Like, he has been doing.
And I love that Jim Carrey fully was like, I'm leaving Hollywood and I'm not doing any more movies, but I'll do 3 Sonics.
Exactly. He was like, you know, screw Hollywood, but damn, do I love that Sonic the Hedgehog money.
I will say, it's really fucking weird to see Eggman with hair.
Yes, it is. Which I need to ask this. What's the deal with him and that assistant? Because Eggman clearly doesn't like him. That assistant looks like a simp for him. Hold on a sec.
There is no other explanation but gay.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute myself for a second. You guys talk among.
Cool. Yeah, no, I fully agree. I feel like Eggman is like a mean gay, you know? Like, I don't know, there's this guy on TikTok, right? It's him, I believe his partner. And they do these videos like the meanest gays you know. And so it's like the meanest gays you know complimenting your baby, and they're just like, wow, it's a baby. That's so human. Like, it's just like, is that a compliment? I think. I don't know. You know? So yeah, I feel like Robotnik or Eggman is just kind of on that energy of like, yes, mean gay.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick, I gotta go walk my dog very quick. Again, talk amongst yourselves, talk more about the trailer, because I gotta take her out in that rain, and I want to make sure I get it fast.
I don't know.
So,
That's just my beef with.
Go ahead. I'll be back.
All right, cool.
Meanwhile,
Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow. Yeah, let's shake it up a little.
Oh man, that's a weird argument, dude.
He's been screaming for 2 hours. No.
No.
A 12-year-old captured God. Listen, kid, I'm getting ripped apart at the molecular level because of you. Oh, she's pregnant? Oh, cool.
I'm back.
He's back. We never left. We've been here the whole time.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I actually had to go walk my dogs. So, getting back to the trailer, that moment where, yes, Gerald Robotnik, holy crap, I thought he would be dead, but they were like, nah, this is an adaptation, not a full-out redoing. So,
I think
he
Robotnik. I think Jim Carrey Robotnik, young Robotnik, also thinks that old Robotnik was dead because he says it can't be, it isn't, Papa. So it's like, oh, so he did die. Got it.
Which I do actually like the twist. I know some people are like, but that's not in Adventure 2. Listen, this is an adaptation, not a full-out retelling.
Also,
this
Knuckles isn't, like, and here's the thing, like, Knuckles isn't Idris Elba, but we made him Idris Elba, and he's cool now. So shut the fuck up. We can do whatever we want.
Knuckles was always cool, but they wanted to dumb him down in the 2010s for some stupid reason, which I never got.
He's funny that way. I will die on this hill. Knuckles is funnier now than he ever has been. Because up to this point, the only energy I got from Knuckles is, I'm the strongest one here, losers. Like, that's the energy I got. And now he's like, is mayonnaise an instrument? I'm genuinely confused on that. Like, that's the odd, like, that sounds like something Knuckles would say, and it's fully what I anticipate from him. And I love that. I love that Knuckles is just a himbo now, like the definition of himbo, like big, strong, dumb, sweetheart. I love that. Because we were missing. I feel like that's the one character archetype we were missing in the Sonic lineup.
Well, I was actually going to say you're talking to two Sonic experts, and we'll tell you straight up, that was not Knuckles in the early 2000s.
No, not really.
Knuckles was a stone cold warrior, did actually care about his friends, but at the same time, also cared about protecting the Master Emerald, even though, you know, destroying the Master Emerald into tiny pieces, as they do, was something else.
These guys have to, it's what he had to do for some reason.
Sorry about my audio. I was just washing my hands because we practice hygiene over here. But yeah, no, I get that. But again, I'm not talking about what he actually was. I'm talking about what he was perceived as. You know?
But to be fair, that's also through the fandom as well. Because the fandom was like, oh, it's Knuckles, and he's just a big, tough, strong guy, and he's, I don't know. It's like, but there's more to him than that, guys.
But it was one of those things where it's just like, and I remember, like, when my biggest introduction to the entire Sonic cast, I'm really going to like out myself as not that big of a Sonic fan, but like my first introduction to the whole cast was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Oh my god.
That's fair.
Like to the entire cast, I mean. Like I'm like,
Okay.
oh shit, there's a metal Sonic? Like that's how that like I'm like, who the fuck is Cream and Cheese? Like that's everybody. Like they had everybody at the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. They're like, we're getting everybody in this. To the point where I'm like, okay, I know some of these Mario faces. I don't know all of them. Who's Chain Chomp? No, it wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad, I promise. But no, it was a lot of characters. And when I like asked my friends who knew about like Sonic, I'm like, so what's the difference between Knuckles and Vector? And they're like, one's black, and like uses slang. And it's like, but they're effectively they play the same role. They're big, strong dude. And I'm like, that's it.
I don't know either of them that actually use a sling, because again, you're talking to the biggest Sonic nerds here. We don't know any of them that actually spoke slang, because for the most
wore 2 chains.
He wore 2 chains, but in the games, he never really spoke slang. He was more business savvy, because he cared more about the detective agency. So I never really heard him use slang.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Same thing with Knuckles. I know for sure he never used slang, because that dude was so serious about protecting the Master Emerald. But he was also crap at it too. To the point where some people thought, "Oh, this is a robot dog guarding that Master Emerald."
But again, what I'm going to say is this: is that like you guys are talking like the actual experience of Knuckles and Sonic and the Sonic franchise. To everybody else who didn't play, they didn't market these characters like that. Like,
and that's what
the Mario game, straightforward marketing. You know exactly who they are. The Sonic games, the marketing did not give the energy of the characters, in my humble opinion.
And that's why you should watch our channel to know more about him.
Bada bing.
So, getting back to the Sonic 3 trailer, because we also want to try to wrap this up and not make this an hour long like with the other stuff.
Too late.
Yeah, well, yeah. I am such a Dragon Ball fan with this, but at the same time, I know Jonathan wouldn't like it. I would kind of like a Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight.
I would love that.
That would be so sick.
Here's the thing.
Like that.
Oh. I thought you would. Well, because when I brought up Super Sonic versus Super Shadow and Sonic X, you didn't care for it, which I do get why, but I was like... I
can watch that fight, and it was just not that interesting.
But also, they handled Super Sonic incredibly well in Sonic 2.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
And it's one of those things where if that's how they handled Super Sonic, I want to see how they would handle a Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight, because that shit would be awesome.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is if I don't hear Breakthrough at all in there, I'm going to flip my lid.
You probably won't.
I know, I'm joking.
You might hear, honestly though, you might hear a motif of it. Like, there was a motif of like, yeah, there's motifs of like Green Hill Zone in like Sonic 1, so.
True, but there was slim to none.
In the first one?
In the first one or the second one. Because in the second one, they kind of just do like, there was hardly any except for Tom's ringtone. That was it. So, they did say, however, they would actually try to incorporate more game music in Sonic 3, including Live and Learn. So, I'm just saying, if I don't hear
we were supposed to have Live and Learn this time, so...
If I don't hear City of Sleep in there as well, I'm gonna flip my lid.
If I don't see Ugandan Knuckles. Because, like, here's the thing. In the first one, we saw Sonic, right? Mm-hmm. And then now that Knuckles is kind of a hero figure, I imagine that they're like public personas or whatever, right? I'm just imagining Knuckles just being like Sonic, look, I have fan art, and it's just Ugandan Knuckles.
Sonic.
They love me, Sonic.
I think for the most part, I have almost no expectations on the music besides, obviously Live and Learn. Like I'm not expecting City Escape. I'm not going in with the expectations I'll hear it. So.
Oh, I am. I'm a big music guy when it comes to this types of stuff. So when you incorporate a good amount of game music, especially like they did with the Mario movie, even though they had to have that pop song, I did like the fact that they did incorporate actual game music in there as well.
Yeah.
So Sonic the Hedgehog 3, can we get some more game music and not just Live and Learn? I don't feel like I've been jibbed. Just saying. But going back to the trailer, we also got Chow.
Yeah, the child thing is definitely kind of weird to me, honestly.
The little bastards will never die, huh?
I mean, they're just pretty much like a restaurant. There's nothing like too heavy into them. They're there for that one fight scene, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice little like, oh hey, this is our version of Chow, okay?
Chili dog.
In that scene, it looks like they're either talking to Wade, Tom, or the commander in like a Chow themed restaurant.
I'm pretty sure that's Tom.
When the probably. These missiles that are going after them, though, it's kind of a clear indication that, yeah, Eggman's gonna turn on them, because ain't no way he's gonna team up with them and be like, yep, I'm gonna stay good. Nope, now I'm gonna kill you guys.
I mean,
There's no way
expecting that too, but that seems not like the right moment it would be in.
I'm also of the mind that I don't think it'll be Eggman. It'll be Eggman Senior that will be doing it. You know?
Oh, Gerald Robotnik.
What?
Gerald Robotnik.
Yeah. I feel like Gerald is going to be the one doing it because, like, and honestly, like, you know, I'm just gonna say Robotnik Senior because, like, yes, but yeah, like, because Robotnik Junior, I mean, he's fought Sonic already, and he might be clocked by Shadow at the end of it, and then Robotnik Senior will be like, you know, you killed my son, and he's like, I'm right here, Dad, I'm okay. He's like, no, he killed you, son. I'm going to kill them all, and then yeah.
Well, actually, okay. So the thing about it is, Professor Gerald is actually his grandfather. He's not his dad. I think that. I know, but they never really said who Eggman's dad is, but they sure as hell clarified that's his grandfather. So many times. He even brings up Maria in Sonic Frontiers, where he's like, I never really got to know her, but from what I hear about her death, it is a tragic one. That's his cousin, I believe, so that's that kind of sucks.
Yeah, Maria Robotnik is gonna die, and we're all gonna cheer.
I personally think it's gonna be Eggman and Gerald. They're gonna be the final boss, like Generations kind of deal.
I will say this right now. 50-50, Shadow is going to go on the hero side. And I do 100%. Say 100%. Well, only reason I say 50-50 for me personally is because, again, this is a completely different canon. So I'm not fully expecting them to be like, yep, at the end of this, Shadow is going to join forces with Sonic. I will say, though, I'm also of the mindset that he might, because, again, if they really want to do Sonic Adventure 2 story justice, you will have to have him team up with Sonic and actually see Sonic's not the true villain. It's, it's Gerald or someone else.
I mean, I was going to say, if anything, it may not be on friends, but it might be on, respect terms. It could be like, Shadow goes his own way, but doesn't hate Sonic.
Now, I will say, this also brings up my little theory, because we saw Sonic hand Eggman one part of his quill. And I'm just saying, they really want to they really want to give Sonic and Shadow a really hard time. Metal Sonic is just right there. Metal Sonic and Mega Sonic. There you go.
I think my theory is Metal Sonic's the next character, next movie. I think having Metal here is almost too much.
You never know.
Maybe.
You never know.
Oh, maybe.
I would.
Like I said, it could be, but at the same time, I think it would be almost better off making it in the next game, next movie.
I will say though, 100%, we ain't seeing no Bio-Lizard, and I'm actually fine with that. Because
I mean, honestly, I'm not ruling out the Bio-Lizard at least.
I'm gonna rule him. I mean, I will be genuinely surprised if they add it in, but I'm ruling it out, and the main reason why is because the focus. Granted, the Bio-Lizard is the prototype for the Ultimate Life Form.
Mm-hmm.
It is also a thing where it's like, again, this is an adaptation, so we don't really have to go note for note. Jared Robotnik actually had a prototype of Shadow. It's something along the lines where it's like, nah, they don't have to stick to the story,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, I would be genuinely surprised if they did have him if they did have the Bio-Lizard, and of course, Super Sonic and Super Shadow go up against it. But I'm also not going to be disappointed if they don't have it, because already this movie looks stupidly amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it. So,
I think there's going to be the Bio-Lizard. I think the Bio-Lizard's going to go up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not going to 100% it, but I feel like you could definitely pull off a story with that.
I'm just ready to see it happen, man.
I think we all are. Which, honestly, I think that's going to cap it for this video, because, I mean, what else do we have to say? This movie is pretty freaking close. We're almost already at this September, and this releases in December. So, I mean, good gravy, man. This movie's almost here, and I'm super stoked. I'm genuinely excited to see this movie, and I know you guys are excited to see this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and go see this literally as soon as possible.
I will try to see this. I will genuinely try to see this day one, because there is, and maybe take Isaiah if he comes around for the holidays. And we'll go see this movie and hear a bunch of people cheer for Maria dying.
It should be great.
But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. As you heard us nerd out, we're very excited about this trailer. But what do you guys think about the trailer? What do you think about Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just okay? Let us know down in the comments, and we'll try to respond to them. I do say try because, again, we got different stuff going on, but we will genuinely try to respond to it. Until then, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell right next to it to stay up to date with our content, and hit that like button down below. And until then, guys, I'm Aaron.
Jonathan.
Danny.
And we're the 3HG, and we'll see you guys for the next time. Until then, take care, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.